zone. 3D printers, humming gadgets, finding a home. From Z-wobble fixes to smart home tricks, we're building the future, click by click. TechWiz3699, let's level up the game. Shawn Burton's got the spark to ignite the flame. DIY reviews and tutorials so clear. Subscribe, join the crew, the tech world's right here. Cybersecurity tips, gaming gear we explore. Hands-on solutions, we're opening the door. Beginner and maker, we're all in this fight. Ask questions, share projects, let's shine that light. TechWiz3699, let's learn the game. Shawn Burton's got the start to ignite the flame. DIY reviews and tutorials so play. Shawn's clack, talk the crew, the tech world right here.
Hey peeps, viewers and subscribers, it's Shawn back again. Just some closing thoughts for 2025. So that just go over some things I've experienced, and maybe it'll help you in your new year, or maybe it'll benefit you in the future. Basically, what I'm going to start with is my 3D printer. I was having some issues with my Anycubic this year. It's having issues with one of the hot ends got stuck against the bed, and the bed was too close to the hot end. So basically, I couldn't adjust or nothing. The manufacturer, for some odd reason, has the manual bed movement disabled, so that you can't do it. You have to always send it at home, but the 3D printer won't go to home because it's stuck on the printer bed. So it would be nice if it had allowed you manually be able to change that bed height by the buttons on the display, not by pushing the 3D printer over and holding it up and moving the belt. There's a belt on the bottom of the 3D printer. When you tilt it, there's a gray belt on the bottom with teeth on it. Just make sure you unplug the 3D printer, and once you unplug it, then just pull the cable and the belt, and you will just move the bed down and then set it away. I was kind of procrastinating. I wasn't doing it for a while or fixing it, but then I ended up fixing it, and it only took about 2 minutes to fix it, so it was very quick. And the other thing as well, I discovered, if you're having issues with parts popping off your printer sheet or printer bed, just use some ordinary glue stick glue. You can use that brand. I've used this before. I'm quite happy with it. Or you can just use an Amazon basic kids glue stick. I got the purple, just thought it looked neat. So basically, you just spread that on your printer sheet. You can put that on about 3 times, and then after that, you can just keep printing on it until it starts unsticking. Once it starts unsticking, just spread the glue it again, and then it will print perfect every time. Without doing that, sometimes it will just snap off your bed all the time, and you'll have a lot of wasted 3D printer filament and a lot of bad prints. By doing that, you can avoid some of those bad prints. And another thing as well, you can just clean that off with soap and water, and you can clean that sheet off, and then you can start over. Now, usually the only time that I usually wipe off the glue is if there's some remnants of 3D printing filament on the sheet. Then I will clean it off to get rid of that printer leftover filament, so it doesn't get embedded into your material. Because if you do that, it'll embed itself to scrap material if you're printing something on its side or upside down. It will put that old previous print in your 3D print, and it will just ruin your 3D print. Or you won't see it, or it'll just be on the bottom of the thing you print on. In some circumstances, you're using the face of it to print on the bed. If you don't do that, you will pick up the other 3D printer filament. So that was another thing I ran into. And I do enjoy the fact that I can connect to my phone remotely through the cloud and check my printer status and make sure it's printing correctly and stop the print if something goes on. It's a really nifty little feature to have. And that's one thing I do like about the Anycubic. It was one of the reasons why I bought it, because it basically keep an eye on your print to make sure that nothing goes wrong. So basically, that was the one thing. The next thing that I discovered lately, that we did some videos on sugar-free pop, and basically I do like the zero sugar Pepsi Max flavor. That was really good. I'm impressed with that. Another good one is crushed lime, which tastes really good. It can taste a little diety sometimes, but it's not like a true diet crush pop, so it's definitely an improvement on the normal diet crush pop. Another one I feel was good was the ginger ale, and another one was the 7 Up one was good. I already did a review on that, but I did the zero 7 Up sugar without the additional flavor added, and that was pretty good. It tastes actually pretty good. The Pepsi, I'm pretty satisfied with. The Pepsi Max, I find the zero sugar Pepsi Max doesn't seem to go as flat as it does, and if it does go a little flat, it still tastes good. I don't understand that one, but can't complain on that front. And another thing as well, if you purchased an Amana side-by-side fridge with an ice cube maker, think about it before you buy that fridge. We've bought one, and we bought a new fridge because we had to replace the old one because the old one was getting clogged up and it was getting jammed up and it was going creating all these odd noises. So anyway, we had to defrost the thing all the time. So then we figured, oh well, time to get a new one. So we buy a new side-by-side personal refrigerator with the ice cube maker function in it. The Amana ice cube function ice cube maker machine makes a small amount of ice per time, and it has a small bin of ice. So it takes a long time for it to build up any amount of ice. And the other thing is, as well, we must have defrosted this brand new fridge 5 times now because it was doing the exact same thing our old fridge was doing. And for some odd reason, the freezer just decides to build up ice inside of it and causes a problem with the fan. And then when it affects the fan, it affects the ice cube makers, and the ice cube maker doesn't make the ice because it thinks there's something wrong. So then it does that, and we've defrosted multiple times, and you shouldn't have to do that with a brand new fridge. You should at least get 5 or 10 years out of it before you even got to start doing any of that stuff. And that was another thing that I wasn't all too happy about, because we're always at advice with the other ice cube maker never had a problem. And it's at the point that it's just getting so much of a hassle. I think I'm just gonna buy a countertop ice cube maker that you just put on top of a bar fridge or something in our dining room to make ice. So I think that's what I'm going to do in the future. Because I have gas issues and stuff like that, so ice helps with reducing gas and stuff like that, and it just kind of waters the drinks down a little bit, takes the acidity down, and it takes the pop bubbleness down a little bit as well, so it makes it a little more manageable. So that's the other reason why I like ice cubes. Some people don't like ice cubes and pop, but I just cannot drink any kind of pop at all without ice cubes. It really bothers me. It's like it's unimaginable the amount of gas that causes. So basically, that's why I use a lot of ice cubes, and if it's Amana, AMANA, and it's not a very good maker fridge for an ice cube maker function. The ice cube tray is too small, it doesn't make enough ice, it's just a big waste of time. And if you're going to spend the extra money on that fridge to have the ice cube maker, you're just better off to just have the ice cube maker function by itself on a fridge or somewhere. Maybe you have a bar in your dining room or in your dining room or stuff like that. You can just put the ice maker there. Probably be a better option where there's less chance that it'll go wrong, and it won't affect any of the food or anything in the fridge by have to defrost the freezer all the time. So it's another thing to look out for. Another thing as well that I ran into that I really has not been happy about. Well, for some odd reason, I just seem to have a lot of issues with orders lately. It's like I always order stuff from Instacart or DoorDash. Everything seems to be always fine. It seems it's just like anything with DoorDash. Like it seems like everything is kind of delayed, and I am giving a little more tip. But the problem is groceries are costing so much right now. It's making it very difficult to tip people because it's not getting expensive. It's getting expensive. And like the pizza man delivers pizza, they only get like a $2 or $3 tip. Well, why should they get like a $15 tip? They're doing the same thing, dropping off your food and for delivery. Like I know a percentage. It's not like you're buying something at the restaurant and you're in, someone serves the food to you. It's a total different story. And with what groceries are right now and stuff like that, you really can't like tip a lot because it's just really affecting your bottom line. And it's not that you're trying to be not giving people tips. It's just I still give a tip, but it's not as much as they suggest you to give. But it's just basically that's all I can afford. It's not like I'm ungrateful for someone delivering the food for me or delivering the stuff. It's just I have a disability and everything. It just makes it easier for me having them deliver it, and that's one of the reasons why I do it, because it just saves time and effort, and I don't have to hand my family members or anything to go get me stuff. So it just works out that way, and it just sometimes you just can't tip as much as you want to, just because of the fact everything costs so much and everything is going up. Now the other thing, I have a Samsung a Flip 6, and I had that phone for a year now. I had the phone for a month, and ended up the screen broke. Nothing would come up on the main screen. Couldn't get a picture. Nothing. Ended up sending it repair. Ended up discovering that the ribbon cable that they did when they manufactured the phone was not put in properly, and then that's basically what the issue was. All they had to do was disassemble the phone, push the ribbon cable back in, and didn't have to replace nothing. But then my nephew had my phone there a while back, and he was showing me the case or something. He was flicking the thing, and the phone seemed like it was fine that night. I used it after that, and then the next day I started receiving a white line on the screen. So I don't know, it seems like it's like a dead pixel or something, or sometimes it flickers, because if it was a dead pixel, it would just not flash at all. It wouldn't try to work properly. So then I got to send my phone back for that repair. Now another thing I was not really happy with, UPS. I've had work that sent me items, and there was things I had to return. So then there was stuff that I had to return for repair. I had to return for Amazon. I had to get my headset replaced because it ended up getting damaged, so I had to send that back. UPS was supposed to drop off the labels 3 times in a row, charged me $5 each time. Never showed up, never came, weren't on the doorbell. Waited a whole day for them to arrive, and no one showed up. And this has happened multiple times now. This is even with work returning items. They've done the same thing. They set the time, said they were coming. They waited from the door the whole day, didn't show up. And this has been the pattern with UPS lately. And with people with disabilities, this is just not making things any more simple for us. And basically, that is another thing I've been running into with UPS. They seem to be delivering the packages fine. They just don't seem to want to pick my packages up, which is, I don't understand that. If they're dropping off packages and those packages were there, you think they would just have picked up those packages at the time they dropped off the other items, but they didn't do that. So I don't know what's going on with UPS lately, but that's one thing that I really have not been happy about. But what can you do about it? The only other option is I'm just going to have to get someone or pay someone or someone to drop the stuff off for me at UPS. then it's going to cost me more money because then I have to get someone to specially go and drop it off, which is just a big a big ordeal because then I got to bug people, and I'm the type of person before my disability got to the point that I wasn't able to do certain things anymore. Then I kind of got to rely on people, but I tried not to rely on people as much because people are busy too as well, and there are things that they have to do as well. So I tried not to bother people, if I don't have to. So that was another thing that I really have not been happy with that I've been running into a lot lately. Just beware if you're going to get UPS to pick up your package, you're probably just better off to just go and drop the package off at UPS. Heads up. Other thing as well, I have been running into. I purchased some bridge tools there a few years ago, and it just seems like all of a sudden the blue everything decides that it's not going to work anymore. So I purchased some of my things at the same time. It was kind of like a combo kit. I can't complain now, mind you. I did get 15 years out of the drill. Nothing ever went wrong with them within the 15 years. But it ended up, I thought two of my drills weren't working. It was just that one of my family members went and changed the setting on it, that the torque was set at the lowest possible setting so it wouldn't drill, it wouldn't screw. And as soon as I just turned the dial all the way back, the drill worked fine, not having a problem with it. Drill same, pack on same thing, works good, no problems. They just went and flicked the button on the top and just made it not work. So that's fine, but I ended up discovering that there is one battery that I have that is bad, so I'm going to have to return that. Now, if you're returning your tools for rigid, they don't ship it in, or you can't return it. So basically, if you have anyone with a disability, you don't have the option to do that. You have to get someone to drop it off at the depot in my area and have them do the repair. So that was another thing that was going on that I ran into. So basically, it just seems like a lot of these options that were there for people that had disabilities are just not there anymore. It's like they just don't give a care anymore. It's like, oh, like we're just as much of a customer as anyone else is, and they should offer extra services for people like that. It just make it a lot more convenient for us. But I'm not trying to make things more difficult or complaining here, but I just think that there should be an exception to the rule. I know sometimes exception to the rule, people can abuse the rule, but still it should be an option, or maybe like a fee or something to do it, and you can get your fee back when the item gets returned back to you, or they receive it, vice versa. Now, it's another thing that I've been running into. Now, another thing that I found, I've had the Ring doorbell for the past few years. Very happy with all their stuff. It does work well. It does connect properly. But the only thing I noticed with the Ring one, the doorbell, I have mine. If you do buy a third-party charger for your Ring doorbell, I wouldn't suggest doing it because it only trickle charges the doorbell, and it takes forever to charge. Now, if you charge your doorbell fully charged right from the charge cord, and then put it back out and plug the wire back in, it will maintain the charge. If it ever gets drained or someone unplugs it, then the battery will just deplete, and then it just goes completely dead, and it'll take forever for that third-party charger to charge the doorbell. I'm not sure why they did that, but it's a trickle charge. It's just to charge enough that charges it, but it keeps it maintained. So it's not like it's going to fully charge it like you normally charge it from a USB cord. That's another thing to be aware of when you go with the adapter hookup to keep your Ring doorbell from going dead all the time. So that's another little thing that I ran across, just to let you be aware that you may want to avoid. Now, I've been having I had purchased a switch there a few years ago during COVID, which is made by Genie. I've purchased a few of their things and own a few of their other things as well. I'm very impressed with their stuff. But with their smart switches, I'd be a little careful with them. I noticed my nephew, or I don't know who it was, but anyway, someone seemed like they like hit forced to push the switch, and the switch got the switch got stuck in the position of the off position, and the light wouldn't turn on, and then I popped it out, and when I popped it out, I broke the clip. So then that's why I have a light above my ceiling that flashes, and this is the only way that I can do a video properly, because that flashing light gets very annoying during a video. And for some odd reason, I do have enough light in my room here. It's producing enough that it is making it good that the video is somewhat good quality. I guess it's just my two monitors are reflecting light, and I actually do got a mirror over there, so that's probably helping a little bit as well. So that was another thing that I ran into that you may want to avoid, or just be careful, just be aware of what's going to go on. Now, the other thing as well, the other thing I ran into, if you're going to 3D print switch plates or switch covers or socket covers and stuff like that, that I ran into that some of them don't print properly because they don't have any supporting material, so then they won't print properly. Then you have to add supporting material, but sometimes when you add supporting material, that can cause the print to be horrible. So what I had to do is I had to turn the switch plate upside down and print it from front up. Now the only thing by doing that, it'll leave like a little bit of, it won't give you a smooth surface. It'll give you like somewhat of a rough surface. It looks like that roughness you get on the older plastic, and basically that's what it is. I don't mind it. It still looks fine. It printed good, and I do like it that way. But just like beware, you may run into issues like that, because if you print it upside down, there's a gap there, and there's nothing supporting that gap, and you'll just have a major world of issues with the switch plate. So now the other thing I bought was I leave my air conditioner in my window all year round, because I have electronics in here and it produces a lot of heat. So I don't even really turn the AC on. I just circulate the air through the room with the airflow thing, and just suck the air from outside, which cools the room down as well, which then I don't have to use the air conditioner mode. Now, the only problem is I purchased one of those vinyl damper flaps, and they're all made out of vinyl. Don't buy. Avoid them. Because what happened was I put it in my air conditioner vent. It was fine, but the problem is the size of the air conditioner vent towards the vinyl damper circle part in the flapper. The problem is when you tape it on the tube, it disforms the tube. So the vinyl disforms, and then what happens is the flapper does not open and close properly. Or what will happen is that once you do that, it squeezes the vent, and when it squeezes the vent, it causes the flap to come loose. So then the flap will be sucked out the window or blown out the window. So I would avoid buying the vinyl dampers that block the air, the draft coming in when you're using like a ceiling vent for your bathroom, or a vent for your dryer, or a vent for your AC, for example. Not the best choice. You're better off to just buy the aluminum ones, or the aluminum ones that are or the ones made out of steel. Some of them, there's a few that are made out of chrome and stuff like that. They're made out of a better material. You're better off to go with the better material and buy the damper vents with the bead around the edge, so there's less chance that the hose will pop off, and it gives you more rigidity to your damper. So if you're going to do what I did with your 4 model air conditioner, like what I did, you're going to have to go with a metal version of that. Now, what I'm going to do this year, I'm just going to do a manual one for this year. But what I'm going to do when it warms up, I'm going to get a better damper. I'm going to get a professional grade one. And I'm going to cut a square slot out and put it in. And I'll never have to worry about it again. And that one has like 4 different sizes of hoses. So it's not going to have a problem with it taping or adhering it to that vent. But as of right now, I'm just going to use a manual damper. My AC is right by my end table anyway. I can turn it on and off whenever I feel like. And then I can do that, and then later on I'll put the other damper in. That will automatically open by itself, then I don't have to manually do it. But right now, I'm just going to do the manual one, because then I can just cut the hose and stick it in the hose, and I don't have to go and take out the window vent and everything, freeze to death, because it's winter right now. So I should have fixed it before winter, but I just didn't. I was procrastinating again. So then that was another thing that I discovered that is another good thing to avoid. Now, I purchased some of these wall fasteners. They're like metal wall fasteners. They're like about this long. And they have like an arrow on the bottom. They're flat. Has a circle top on it. And apparently you put the screw in it, and it's supposed to act like a plastic gyprock plug. Yeah. Do not go near them. They look kind of like a spade style, and when the screw opens, it doesn't seem to open it up enough, and it just doesn't stay in the gyprock, so I'd avoid using those ones altogether. And I don't like those screw-in ones that you just drill a hole and then screw it into the gyprock. That's okay if you're only mounting like a light pitcher or a light mirror or something like that. But mounting anything heavy, just not worth your time. So it's another thing to avoid. Now, another thing as well, I started using screws, structural screws, and I started using screws with not using the Phillips or the Robertson anymore. I just find the two of them, they strip out too easy, and it just you're just wasting more screws than you're actually using. So I started using the other style. They're like a hex, but it has teeth on it, so that it actually grabs the screw better. So then you have less chance of it stripping out, because you have more points of contact on the screw. So they're great screws to use. I would suggest getting them. Make your job a lot more easier. You get less drill bits stripped and all that jazz, and you'll get less of that because you get that less. And what people do is, when they're using the drill and it does that, you are not got the drill bit flush with the screw head. If you don't, then it's going to cause that noise. That's because you're stripping the screw. So if it's doing that, make sure your drill is flush with your drill bit in the screw head, or you'll get that problem. But with the screws I'm talking about, you don't have to worry about that, because you got more points of contact, and there's less chance you're going to strip them. I haven't stripped one yet, so I've been doing good so far. And then another thing I do find as well, ran into some other things. I bought 2 Hisense TVs for my bedroom. They were both 42 inches. And both of those 42-inch ones, both of them went. I got a year out of each one. That's how long they lasted. But then when I bought the one that was 50, anything that's over 50 inches and above, I never ran into any problems at all. It just seems like anything that's under a 50-inch TV in a Hisense seems to have its little problems. So if you want to buy a Hisense, make sure that you buy the warranty, so that if it does break, you can get a replacement. I had them twice, and they both broke within a year period. I think it's just due to the temperature of my room, because I do have a lot of heat in here with all my electronics, and I just think they're just not built to last. I have Samsung monitors in here, never had an issue with them, with any of them. So when I had the Samsung TV a few years ago, never had a problem. Everything worked fine. But I had cheaper TVs other than that, and I had the same problem. It seemed like the heat was just killing me. So basically, that would be a thing that I would avoid, or at least buy an extended 3-year warranty with it. So if anything does go wrong, you'll be covered. I would suggest a warranty for that specific TV, even the bigger ones, just to be safe than sorry. And the warranties don't cost that much now. They're like $30 or $40 for a warranty, and they're well worth it. I've had a few that I've used, and it was definitely well worth the time and effort. Now, another thing as well, this year, let's see, what else? Oh, yes, and I do have a Starlink internet that I've gotten recently, and very impressed with it. I know I'm in town, and I could get fiber optic internet, and I understand that. Yeah, it could be faster, it'd be quicker. I got that, but the problem is it just seems like the local providers in my area are just not being very reliable. So then I got Starlink. The download is phenomenal. I'm getting about 450 megabytes, and Starlink is just going to get better over a matter of time. It's just a matter of, I think they said they were doing some more upgrades, and probably another year or so. So then, yes, I did go with Starlink. It is US, but I just had no choice. There's no other real choice option for satellite in our area that offers the speed they offer. So I really had no choice. And I do need a backup internet for my job. I can't do without internet. Heaven forbid if I miss a little bit of time due to internet issues. So I got to make sure I have a backup internet at all times. And with Starlink, I can suspend it for $5 a month. It keeps it active, and then I can activate it anytime when I need it. So I can just call and activate it, and then no problems. And then I can just continue on working. Lately, I haven't been doing that. I've been just leaving it active. I've noticed a few times my fiber optic internet went out, and my modem and router that I have that I purchased separately is an Asus one. And basically, the Asus modem has a failover and rollover. So basically, if one internet connection fails, it rolls over to the other connection. Then once the other internet connection comes back, it rolls back over to the existing internet. You don't notice the interruption. It doesn't drop the internet, nothing. It's just you don't even notice that anything happened. So I've been just doing that, and but the only problem with that is it is costing me quite a bit because I got to pay for internet and then internet twice. So it's costing me a lot of money just to keep internet 24/7. And I know if I still don't have a backup generator, so there's really no way I can 100% protect it. But at least our power really doesn't go out that often here anyway. We're pretty well off the main grid, off the hospital grid, so we usually never seem to lose power, and if we do, it's very rare that we do. So then, that's the thing. The only thing what it is the Starlink is awesome for if you're going to watch TV for your own use, or if you're just going to use it for personal day-to-day use. But the issue is that their upload is still not where it needs to be. My job that I have, you have to have 4 megabytes of upload, 45 megabytes of upload. Now, this is where the whole problem started with the other internet services in my area. For some odd reason, it's like Bell or someone got this locked down that they cannot offer any more than 10 megabytes of upload. I don't know where this all started or why it happened or what's going on. I don't know if Bell has it locked set that no one else can offer that upload or what. I do not know. And the only other service that I can find in my area is called TechSavvy. They're the only other ones that have fiber optic internet that's available in my area that can offer me uploads of 150 and above. So basically, that was the issue I was running into because none of the other carriers offer it. TELUS doesn't offer it. Purple Cow doesn't offer it. Eastlink doesn't offer it. Seaside doesn't offer it. Who else? They used to have a VMedia in the area. They don't service the area anymore. Must not have been very economical for them. So I guess they backed out because they don't even have it available in their area anymore. So that was the area I was running into. Work was backing me into a corner, saying, "Oh, you gotta get a new internet provider." So, well, that's fine, dandy, but how am I going to get another internet provider if I can't get the upload that they require? So anyway, I was having some internet issues. So then I'll send a blue. Something's going on with my work computer, and I was indicating to them, well, there's nothing wrong with my internet. Everything is working properly now. Starlink is working not working properly, and Bell wasn't working properly. So then I switched over to, this has been my last stop, is TechSavvy. That's TEKSAVVY, and they're in our area. The only thing is Bell does their installs, and they really have no clue what's going on. We end up discovering the problem myself. They came to the home, checked the home router, they just couldn't figure it out, what was going on. I said, well, why not call third level support and just check to make sure everything is fine with the profile? So anyway, they had Bell on the line one day, and they basically made some changes. So then the internet got better, and then all of a sudden blue started getting worse. So then it wouldn't connect. It dropped the connection. It wouldn't connect for about almost a week. So I didn't even have service with them for over a month before that all got straightened out. And it was all due to a profile issue. They had to delete the Bell profile. They had to delete all the existing profiles they had with other providers I had. And then they just went with a fresh new profile. And then that just corrected everything. And everything's been working just like a beaut. I have no problems or anything with it. And technically, it wasn't really the issue. What was happening is what I was saying, like I did before, there's something wrong with the network port or something on my laptop. So anyway, I keep saying that, and I keep telling them, and technicians from work are going on, oh, your internet speeds are slow, you have to contact your carrier, and all this jazz. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with my carrier. Your Ethernet card on your laptop is using 100 megabyte connection. It's not connecting at the 1 gigabit connection that it was connecting at before, like 4 months ago. So anyway, they're fighting with me, going on, oh, true carrier. I said, it's not my carrier. I'm telling you, it is the port on my laptop. So anyway, time goes by. So then apparently that I was supposed to receive something that I never got for a year. So then that is what was causing the problem. So then the docking station arrived after a year. No one determined, oh, he was missing this. They asked me multiple times, what you got? And told them the list. No one ever clues in. Anyway, once everything starts becoming an issue. So then I'm telling them there is nothing physically wrong. So then anyway, then they wanted to send out a hotspot. I said, well, how's the hotspot going to solve anything? The hotspot is going to have the same amount of upload speed that my Wi-Fi has. So it's not really going to prove anything because it's not a wired internet connection. It is a wireless connection. So anyway, I get the hub. Oh, the hub has an Ethernet port on it. Guess what? I plugs the internet into the Ethernet port, and guess what? Everything decides to work right. My home internet doesn't have problems. No dropped internet connection. Work computer drops all the errors. All the error messages are gone. Tried to explain to them that the error message of 403, if it was a problem through the home, I would be getting that problem throughout the whole house. Everything would be affected in the home. But nothing was being affected in the home. It was just a work PC. So apparently the onboard network card, there's something physically wrong with it. The laptop has not been replaced, so I'm just using the docking station Ethernet port and then just disable the onboard so that that doesn't come on and I don't run into problems. So that's where that all came from, and I went through all the internet providers out there, and no one can offer internet speeds over 10 megabytes other than TechSavvy or Bell. And Bell very well knows that. There's a lot of people working in the Nova Scotia area, and they very well know that we need a certain type of internet. So then they're just making it so that everyone has to go back to them. So I don't know, it's just being done deliberately that way, but it just seems like no one else can offer upload speeds over 10 megabytes and above. And that's going to make a problem. It seems like they're just trying to give us slower internet these days so that we can do less. If you're playing video games, 10 megabytes per second per upload is not enough. You need 45 and above. And I even found that's not enough. You need a minimum of 150 megabytes for upload, minimum. So that is the other issue that I've been running into, what you can avoid, or if you're having problems with fiber optic with Bell, or you need another source of internet connection, then that would the only option you got would be TechSavvy for my area. And that's for the Cape Breton area. So that being said, so I've gone through all of that, and a lot of things are changing in our area. So there are going to be competition coming in the area. I even heard that Rogers is going to be in the territory soon. I hear that TELUS is trying to make a push into our area, so it's going to create some more competition. You'll probably get some different type of internet connections at different type of speeds if that does happen. And the government's been pushing a little bit for this so people have fast internet everywhere. And I don't know, it seems like ever since we had that Fiona hurricane there a few years ago, everything just never seemed to be the same after that, after Fiona. And I just think Bell just went and scabbed all the lines together and just got everyone back up and hoping that everything would be fine. And I think a lot of their stuff got damaged over the years due to Fiona and a few other things, and I think they're due for an upgrade on some of their things that they're probably at their data center. So, and then I know Purple Cow's running all new fiber optic lines through the area, and Eastlink is basically a part of that. And so if you think you're getting away from Eastlink and you're going to Purple Cow, Eastlink is owned by Purple Cow. So, heads up. And the other thing with the Purple Cow is they only offer 10 megabyte of upload as well. So, that's not an option. So, it's basically, it's like Bell very well knows that people need these different type of certain connections. So, then they just make it so that no one else can offer it but them. So, that's basically where is going with this area with internet right now. And Starlink, I do like it. I have no problems. I had it windy, wind blowing. I've never lost the connection yet. Everything is good. I only use Starlink only just for TV service for the whole home, and then everything else I use the internet cable for video gaming, the desktop computers, laptops, and some of the other things like the doorbells and stuff like that. So it's an actual physical connection plus a wired connection. So basically, if either one fails, I have a backup between either or. So there is basically a backup of wireless and cable as well. And the other thing is another thing I found a lot lately with Nova Scotia Power. I find a lot of my electronics are been failing, and it just seems to be way too many electronics that are failing over the past few years. And I don't know if we're getting power spikes or electric spikes. I know it's not the wiring in the house because we got it all checked and there's no problems. And basically, some of the things that I've been having problems with, I basically converted them to a over to a server grade power surge protector that you would add in, or you put in a rack, so it protects you from those type of power spikes, power drops, and it protects your electronics from those little things that can cause damage to your electronics over a long period of time. So I've upgraded to those. I got about 4 of them in the home. So everything is covered with that, which I noticed in your area those issues have been occurring. If you're running into uh, electronics failing, maybe a good option for you to protect your gear. A UPC would be a good option as well. That protects you from power drops and power spikes and stuff like that as well. That would be another option. No, I think in the future I may go with Blue Eddy or something along that line, and just have backup power. It only lasts for about 8 hours, but it would be more than sufficient that it would get me through a workday. So in the future, I probably will be doing that, and that'll stop some power spikes as well. Now that was another thing that I've been noticing, and I never had a problem after doing that. Now seems gearing is a lot more stable. And then I was running into problems with my Ethernet cable ends getting bad, so then I put a patch panel in my main location where the motor and rotor's at, and I got all the lines running into the back of the patch panel so that none of those lines get damaged, and they're mounted on the wall. So then I just use all short runs to the patch panel and over to the modem router, because my modem has 8 ports on the back for Ethernet. So I basically just got a short run wire running from the router over to the patch panel, which then I'm not replacing 30-foot run cables, or I'm not cutting ends off and replacing ends and retesting them. This way I don't have to worry about that. I just got to replace a 3-foot cord and just plug it back in, and then I have extra 3-foot cords hanging around. So if I end up running into any cable ends, I just throw them away and just replace the cable. Less hassle than putting brand new ends on it. So I done that and put the patch panel in, which that was a huge improvement. Less chance that my cables and all of that will get damaged. Less chance to get bad ends on the cables. I've replaced a few cables over the years due to ends being bad. This way it seems to resolve some of that. So that's a little other tip that I did that may help you out there as well. Now let me see, what else? Oh yes, and another good thing is another good thing to clean your 3D printer sheet off. Let the sheet cool down before you use this, so you don't want to be breathing this in. If you are going to use it that way, I would suggest probably wearing a mask. Less chance of breathing it in. But if you use this, you can wipe off your printer bed. That'll take off all that residual grease and glue and stuff like that, or grease that comes from some of the 3D printer filaments. I noticed there's a few of them that do that, kind of as like an oil or a grease. that will cut down on that and reduce that. So then you have less chances of that on sticking. So that was another good little thing that I discovered. Now the other thing as well, if you're going to do videos on your phone, I would suggest buying one of these, and just so that your audio is a lot more clear. I find sometimes the phone doesn't pick you up properly, and you get low audio, and you got to turn the volume up so people can hear you. So I just basically got one of them, and they're very handy, and it's very clear. That's what I'm using right now to do this video. So I would suggest if you're going to do some high quality videos, I definitely suggest buying a Bluetooth wireless mic. It will definitely help you with better audio and better video content. And the other thing I discovered as well on this flip phone, if you use the camera on the screen side, when you open it up, the quality is going to be different. If you turn the camera around and use the front view of the camera, you're going to get a better video. But the problem with that is it's hard to record a video content, but you can't see the screen. You're looking at the back side. And then the problem is it doesn't show a view on the front when you're recording. Heads up, Samsung. In the future, with your flip phones, make it so that you can see your picture on the front screen, so that if someone decides that they do want to use the camera on the other side to make a video, then they'll be able to see the content on the other side, so they'll know where the camera's at. Another little cool feature that you could add there, Samsung. Little tip. And basically that, and make sure you're using your phone this way, like just close it somewhat so it'll sit up. The picture will go across this way. If you do a video this way, it'll leave black bars on each side of your video, and you want to avoid that. And basically, I just changed my camera to the Pro. There's a Pro recording option in your advanced features on your Samsung phone, and I started using that, and it basically tracks your movements, tracks your face and stuff like that. So it's a lot better way of making a movie that way. So that is that. It's another little thing I discovered that would be nice in the future. And another thing, I was playing I bought an Elite controller there a while back from Xbox, and I'm really not really happy with the Elite controllers, to be totally honest with you. I own one, and I just find there's a lot of issues with your desktop computer when you are using your Xbox Elite controller. So I discovered this other controller that's a third party that is just as good as the Elite or even better, and you get a lot more features for your money, and it's half the price and half of the cost, and it's a way better option. So the controller that I'm talking about is this one right here, and here's the brand name right there, and I'll turn it on the back to show you. So basically this one comes with a screen, so you don't have to use a computer to adjust your sensitivity, adjust your controllers. You can do it all from that screen. So this screen here is not touchable, but you do navigate with the buttons on the controller, and you can change the sensitivity. You can change how long you want the keys to load. You can pretty well do all that, and the button clicks just as smooth as an Xbox Elite. Like, there's no click. It doesn't sound like cheap buttons or nothing or anything like that, and it does light up on the sides as well. Multicolored. You can change the color if you want to a solid color, and you can change that too as well. This does have dual vibration, and I'm telling you, if you're going to suggest for a good controller for your PC to play video games, this is definitely the option to go. This is a highly suggested controller that I would suggest you to buy. That's the best value for your money out there right now. Like, due to the functionality, don't need third-party software. You don't have to pay for software like Microsoft does. You got to buy the Elite software now. You can't. Doesn't come included with the controller, and the controller is really useless without it. So that's why I went over to that controller. And then there's less chance anything goes wrong. You can access everything from the controller, and you don't have to be doing that directly from the computer application. So, and I dropped that. It's very good. It has good grip on the back. It does have a little bit of roughness to it, like the Xbox Elite controllers do. And you can change the buttons. You can change the thumbsticks. There's 3 different size thumbsticks that come with the controller in the box. So, it would definitely a must if you're looking for a good game controller on your PC. I'm not the type, I can't play games old school. I've never played games old school with a keyboard and mouse. I just find it's just so more complicated. I just rather play with a controller. I've been playing on the PC in the past with a controller as well back then, and you were able to do it back then. You just had to have the right controller to be able to do it. The reason I stopped playing video games went over to console, because the computer, if it would crash, you didn't have cloud back then. So then you have to reinstall the game again. Then you'd have to go back to the processor, rebeating the game and everything, and get back to your lost saved data. So then the cloud appeared finally, and it was an option for your video gaming data over all devices, over Xbox, console, PC, everything, and over phone and such. So then that's why I pretty well went back to PC. I just preferred to use the PC now. I have more flexibility. Don't have to buy a console all the time. I just buy, or don't have to buy a whole new console just for memory. And then you got to buy those external devices, and external devices just cost more than an actual hard drive. You just put it in your computer. It's a lot more cost effective as well. So, and it just, I just find you got more adjustability. You can change stuff more on the desktop computer than you can on a console. They don't even allow you to really modify your graphic settings and stuff like that. It's pretty well set in stone of where it has to be at all times on the consoles. Now, and I do find that the consoles, I would think next generation, are going to be very expensive, because they're going to have to go completely over to a computer format. Because whoever wins that next battle with the consoles, that's who's going to be the one that's going to win and who's going to be on the top. And it seems like Xbox is trying to make a push this time around with their hardware, so they may outdo PlayStation this time around. But then, Microsoft decides, oh, we're going to get greedy now. So we're making all this money during COVID, so then they lost all that, people playing video games. Because everyone's back to work, and there's less people that are able to play video games because they have to work, because they're not home because of COVID. So then basically Microsoft decides saying, oh, we're going to jack the price up. So they changed all the plans on everything by $10, everyone on a plan. Now, I have Xbox for years. I never missed a bill. Bill's always been paid on time. I'm a grandfathered in Xbox subscriber to the Xbox Live. I have the premium service, and I was getting the other service. And what was supposed to happen, I wasn't supposed to be affected by the price change. I was supposed to be left alone, and it was supposed to basically just keep me at the normal rate. And then if I decide to change something, then they would change it to the new rate. So then I didn't even get that grandfather thing in. They basically started charging me the new price right off the get-go. So I really wasn't happy about that. And then they said, oh, the reason why they raised the price was due to this entertainment tax, or media tax, which is all a lie. Because that law was going to go through, but that did not go through. It was canceled. So there is no additional fees that were charged on that. So it was just a whole cover-up story just so that it didn't look bad when they switched over. And I don't know what Microsoft is thinking right now or what they're doing, but it seems like they're just going out of their way to make everyone mad or make everyone uh, unhappy. It's like you're supposed to make the customer happy, not make the customer mad. Like, I don't get this. And then if you're going to change the price, you're going to make people drop out, and then they're not going to take your service because you put the price up, and then all you did is you just reduced some of the players on the system, and then you're like trying to replace all these old gamers with new people, and it's just and then they end up had to go mess up friggin' Call of Duty. Halo. This is where my first beef came with Microsoft with the Xbox is that they bought Call of Duty. They bought Activision. And after they bought Activision, all of a sudden in the blue, they decide they want to charge you for a monthly live bundle for Halo. So what happens is you could play all day, you get your promotions, but you don't get your promotions, meaning you don't get your achievements, you don't get your hardware upgrades, you get nothing. Nothing at all. You gotta have like a pass to get your achievements and to get your gear and everything. And then Microsoft has Activision. They don't change it on Call of Duty. That's the way Halo used to be. You still got your gameplay. You still got your upgrades. You still get your armor. You still get your gun upgrades. You still get all this. And then all of a sudden, blue, they took it away from Halo, and that is one of the reasons why I don't play Halo anymore. Because what's my objective if I have no interest in paying for Battle Pass when I already have Xbox Live? Like, it should be included like it used to be. I used to play Halo all the time, and I can't even remember the last time I played Halo. They actually ruined it for me, in a way. And then they started changing the way it feels. Then they started changing this to they started changing it so that you're not able to get all your, achievements and everything. And that's just, and I don't like the Fortnite feel. Like, if I wanted to play Fortnite, I would play Fortnite. I don't want to have to feel like I'm playing Halo, that I'm playing Fortnite. If I want to play Fortnite, I'll play Fortnite. Stop making me try to play stuff that I don't want to play. Like, and even Call of Duty is getting like that now. You're even seeing Fortnite in Call of Duty now. Like, it has to stop. Like, you can't that's the reason why these people play the games, because they like the feel. Once you change the feel of it, you're ruining it for them. And then they don't want to play. Like, I don't understand why they can't see that. Like, everyone's talking about it. It's been a complaint. It's been a rave. But it's like, they just totally ignore you. It's like, I don't know. It's like they're all like a bunch of like, what do you call it? People that apply their problems or say the problem is something else, but it's really they're the problem. Oh, narcissists. So it just like you tell them, like, people tell them how they feel and how unhappy they are, and they just go out of their way to make it worse. It's like, oh, they're complaining. Well, if they're going to complain, well, we'll just make it worse for them. We'll make it so that they don't complain. Or if you do complain, oh, we're going to take this stuff away, and you're not going to do this, and this. It's just a suggestion. We're not telling you what to do. We're just saying it worked for so many years. Why change it? And if you want to make Halo better, don't change it to the point that you lose all those players that originally loved the game and played it. And I think the last time I could tell you I really liked Halo was Halo 3. Like I played a time upon hours of playing it. And then it's like they're ignoring the people that are on Microsoft. The reason why I'm saying this is because then all of a sudden, Microsoft now is going to release it on the PlayStation. Okay, so what you're saying is that you lost all your players on the Xbox, and some of the people went over to PlayStation. So you figured, let's stop making consoles, and we'll just make video games, just like what Sega did. Now, that's basically what Sega did with in the Dreamcast and all that. That's the same thing they did. Like they're still around. They just all they do is make games. They don't make consoles anymore. And it's just like, I don't know if Xbox is doing the same thing, but it just seems like that seems to be where things are going. And then I've been noticing there's a lot of server issues with games lately, stuff not working properly, Call of Duty freezing up, my internet's fine, there's nothing wrong with my internet, thinking it's my video card, drivers update, everything's update. It just seems like there's just bad connections to the servers. Like, something's gone on during COVID that nothing's been updated or nothing's been upgraded, or they didn't upgrade the infrastructure or adding more things, or they're just trying to do everything cheaply instead of just trying to get it fixed and get it done properly. And then to make matters even worse, with the Xbox Pass, I have the Ultimate, and you don't get nothing extra. You get an extra $10 on your bill, and that's it. And all the other subscriptions that weren't the Ultimate, they got extra stuff because they upped the price to an extra $10 on all the other packages. But anyone that had the Ultimate package got nothing from it. Nothing. I didn't even get the grandfather thing where my price stayed the same. I got nothing in return, but yet all I got was my price going up. Did I ask for my price to go up? No. I thought it was priced enough as it is. And adding another $10 is getting way beyond. Like, you just can't think because Netflix or one of the other ones are charging more that you can charge the same rate. You can't charge the same rate because it's a different service. It's a different thing that you're offering. You're not offering media. You're not offering a streaming service. You're just offering gameplay. That is not the nature of the gameplay. Like, you think because Netflix charges more that you can charge more. That's not the case. Because Netflix has more content than anyone has. Like, everyone else has content, but they only allow their own content from their own channel. Let's say, for example, Disney. Prime example. Another one, Paramount Pictures, Warner Brothers, like all of them. They're all like that, and then they're all trying to charge more. Like, you just don't got enough shows to keep me happy to update the price and think I should have to pay more because you're not giving me the content that I need, that I feel that I should be paying that extra money. Wow, I got off on a rant there. I guess we'll change the topic. All right, and the other thing this year, just I don't know, it just a lot of things seem weird this year. Like I don't know, it just like seems like the year's gone by so fast. It's like it was just January, now it's like January of next year. Like, isn't it just me, or did time feel like it accelerated this year, or time got faster, or we were in a time loop and then it all sped up and catch up to where we're at now? And it just like even Christmas even felt odd this year. Like, I don't know, it's like Christmas just felt so odd like the past few years after COVID, because it just seems like the feel seems different. Like, I think it's because everyone was home and people are getting out more and such. So I don't know about like all this talk on TV about Three Eye Atlas and all this stuff and that on it and going on. Oh, it's an alien spacecraft and all this jazz. And, well, they're saying that that Three Eye Atlas is acting as like it's a spacecraft or aliens are controlling it or something along that line. Now, from what I gathered from some of the things, they're saying that there's a brown sun that's on the edge of our universe. Well, why would that not have any effect on that and pull it back in the sun, pull it back into the gravity, which then would cause it to act in a situation that it would normally wouldn't. Now, if an item has more mass, it's going to attract more gravity, which is then the comet is going to act like in a different form of a comet that we have seen before. Like maybe the proper chemicals weren't burned off so that it would create a bigger chemtrail. Maybe that now that the ice broke off the comet or something is causing more of a trail, which now we're noticing because it did pass up front of the sun, and then the sun probably melted some of the ice, which then changed the chemistry of the comet, which then caused a longer trail. Now, I may be wrong, I'm no scientist, but it seems to me that would make sense. Then now they're going on, it exploded, and then something came out of the inside of it. I don't know if that's true. I think that's more of a lie or something that's been fabricated. I don't know, just it's a weird year and a lot of weird things going on in the world, like weird events, like with those drone swarms that was happening. The other thing, I honestly think it was another country that was actually in the area on the U.S. were trying to show their supremacy, and then basically the U.S. said, "Oh, we're not going to have this." So then the U.S. sends out their drones, and then now the whole airspace looks like it's crazy and going on like it's alien spacecrafts. They're just covering up, saying it was aliens. In reality, it was probably another country with drones. Who's to say it wasn't China, Asia? It wasn't one of those other countries that are getting advanced now. Like, I don't know, during COVID, all of a sudden blue AI stuff is advanced. Robots are gone to the point where I didn't even think we're even at that point. Like, how can we have robots like now? Like, we don't even have really a reliable power source to have them run a long period of time. Like, we have them, they're only going to run what, 4 to 6 hours a day? That's not going to be enough to do what you need to do. So it's like they're going to need longer battery life, and so basically, what are we going to do on that front? If they're only going to work for so long, they're not really going to be very useful. Like if you're going to have an AI robot that got charged every 4 to 6 hours, is not going to be very, what could you say? It's not going to be very, be doing the work all the time. Like a human only needs about 8 hour rest. We can work to 10 to 12 hours a day. How's a robot going to do that? The robots don't last that long. Their life power supply don't last that long. Well, how are they going to be productivity? How are they going to have good productivity? Why are we so worried? Like I don't understand. Like it's not like we got a fusion powered core or something, or like a core that you put in from like Tony Stark from Iron Man that goes inside of an AI robot. Like I don't understand where these people are coming from. All this fear, like they're all coming for our jobs. They're coming to take it away. In another 5 years, we're gonna have no jobs. And, well, they didn't have their breakthrough yet that they needed to exceed what a human can do over during a work day. So I don't think we have anything really to worry about right at this moment, but we are going to have to worry about it at some point in the future. Yes, I totally agree with that. And like myself, I'm trying to start adapting and learning AI tools and AI stuff. And basically, I don't want to be left in the dust. Like, I'm not going to be like last time with the cryptocurrency and everything. I'm not going to be in the dust this time around. This time around, I'm going to be prepared. So, and I even thinking I'm going to start taking some investor courses because I think an investor is going to be the only thing that's really going to be safe in the future if AI do start taking over jobs. So I'm starting to do that now. I'm going to start taking some training courses on that and start doing some more investments and start having work make money for me when I'm working so that those investments can make me the money while I'm working. So I have some funds coming in so that I can make some additional funds with those type of tools. So then, that's another thing we're going to have to worry about. We're going to have to start every time technology does change, there is a point that we are going to have to all retrain, and if you don't retrain, you're going to be left in the dust. So I'm just at the point, I'm thinking, well, I should train now, then later, and then I won't be the one that'll be hurt the most. I'll actually be prepared for that situation when it does occur. So, and then I'm using AI tools, and I find I'm learning more every day. I'm even learning more things you can do with them. I didn't know half the things you could do with AI tools. So I've been learning stuff like that, and then this year I'm going to be still learning more stuff. There's new tools out there now that have all the tools included in one AI tool. Then you don't have to have individual subscriptions for individual services or for individual AI tools like you have to pay now. And the other thing as well is creativity stuff is probably going to rise a little bit as well. And it's kind of turning into like what you'd say like Star Trek, where it's to improve yourself. You have access to everything, make money, to get stuff, and have everything that you ever would ever want. And then you're just self improving yourself. Well, I can't see what's wrong with that. But we do have to make ways of right now of making money because money is still a thing and we still have to make money. So it's not 100% like the way Star Trek is. They don't have money, they don't use money. It basically, all you do is work and you do your thing and you do your contribution and then you get everything you want in return. Like, what's wrong with that? Nothing, in my opinion. So basically, I know it's starting to become that way, but then we can do self improvement to give us more time to do some things that we never thought of doing before. Like sometimes people are doing jobs because they just don't like it. They're just working them because they need to make money. So, if you start retraining now, you can start doing some of that stuff you want now instead of down the road. And then instead of doing it when you retire, you could actually do that in the future. So, a lot of things do have to basically change. There's a lot of people just got to change and just be prepared for the future. As long as everyone gets prepared for the future, we all should be fine. We just can't be left in the dark. Like we got to learn. We got to grow. We got to grow as human beings. We need to grow. Ourselves need to grow. We need to improve ourselves. We need to improve how we think. We need to improve how how to control our temper, how to control what we say. Be polite to people, have manners, be polite, don't be sarcastic. There's ways that we have to change, and the world's not going to change unless we change some of these things. So I don't know if there's just maybe a thought of myself on my own, but maybe it's a good thing in a way. Maybe we need this. Like maybe we'll start thinking of different things, and I don't know, or it may give us more bad ideas. Who knows? It's like all new technology that comes out there. There's always going to be someone that's going to basically that is going to use technology in a bad way. Like prime example in the past, like Hiroshima, when the nuclear bomb came out and they dropped the bomb and all that jazz. That was just a big tragic, thing to happen, and to use that on someone. That is like how scary it can get. with technology if the technology is abused. Like, we can't abuse technology. We got to start realizing abusing technology is not going to benefit anyone. Like, we got to start taking responsibility for our actions. No one takes responsibility for their actions anymore. Everyone's plausible deniability. Everyone says, "I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't do that. That's not me. It's not me on camera. That's not this. That's not me. That's not that. Oh, I didn't do that. But yet you did it." Like, like, this is just this world is just getting more of a mess and a mess and a mess the more time goes on. Now, the other thing, like, with like the other thing they've been noticing, they're saying, like, about her past or discovering things. They discovered the secondary Sphinx in Egypt there recently. Then they discovered caverns underneath the pyramids lately as well. There's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot of a lot of talk about the ice wall. Like, I've talk about an ice wall all the time about Antarctic and all that, and then they're saying, it's a wall that we're being hidden from, and beyond that wall, there's more land, and there's more civilizations, and there's more people on the earth, and that we're surrounded by ice. And I'm like, it kind of seems, kind of odd. Like, why would we not notice it if we're in space? What do they do? Got technology, these other civilizations to hide it, and they just see air part in camera when they go into space, or they have satellites orbiting in space and stuff like that. So I don't know. It just seems kind of a weird theory. It kind of seems way out there. But then you start watching videos on it and start reading up on stuff and start, you know, reading about history and everything, and, with old maps and stuff like that. And then things just don't seem to, add up. Like, if it was fake, well, there wouldn't be that information out there. Why is there all this information back into the past, like, so far back? Like, I honestly think there's no aliens. Like, I mean, that are coming to Earth. I honestly think it's an old ancient race that was on Earth at one point, and then they had their last ice age. So they left the planet and they went to Mars. So then we went to Mars, and then we ruined Mars to the point that it's no longer have an atmosphere. So then we left Mars and we came to Earth. And now we're on Earth now, and we're trying to go back to Mars. I think that the reason why we got this urge to go back to Mars, because I think that's originally where we actually came from, where our civilization started originally. Now, another thing is there could be another civilization that was underground during the last ice age, and they were not coming out because of the ice. So then all of a sudden in blue, our civilization started to grow, and we're starting to do change to the earth, which then is starting to expose things, and it's starting to come to the point where stuff is being revealed and it's not being hidden anymore. And that they're covering up this old civilization, and we already have all this advanced technology, and advanced technology is just being held from us, and we are generations ahead of the game that they're letting us be, and they're using this technology to control what we're doing, and then basically controlling the narrative so that they have control. Now, I believe in life in other planets. I'm not saying there may be aliens not visiting us, but to me, it just seems like where the UFOs are coming from, where the identified objects are coming from, a lot of them are coming from the ocean, coming from deep trenches, and stuff like that. Maybe these civilizations have been hiding in these deep trenches that we cannot explore, that we can't go down into, and there's civilizations there that we're not even aware of. Like, it could be civilizations that were way back in the past that, they had to go underground or they had to go under the ocean because there was ice. There was nowhere else to go other than leave the planet. And the other thing could be that the Greys could be us. It could be the Greys left Earth and they went to another planet and they grew their civilization there. And then basically they're just our ancestors that are coming back to Earth to revisit Earth, but yet all the other countries and everything and all the other do not want to really tell us 100% the truth or give us the 100% disclosure that they've been promising, which we still never received. So it's a lot of things going on, and there's like things going on during like the space program saying there was a break off civilization that it broke off, and we were already on Mars, and we're basically we don't know because it was governmentally private, uh, funded, which we Elon or one of the corporations may go to Mars and discover that we're already there, and they're not the first to be there. And then the other thing, like, why are we not building a space station on the moon? Why are we not using that as a stop space? Why are we not using that to create energy? Why are we not going to the moon? Why are we just sticking on Earth? Like, we have to start expanding. Like whatever happened if a meteoroid hit Earth? Like, we would have to have another civilization somewhere else so that we survive. Like, and then you have a civilization going in bunkers. They're just rich people that are, how are they going to grow and recreate a population when they have no worker force to be able to do that? Like, they may have all this money and everything. The world came to an end. Well, how's the money going to solve you anything? You can't buy nothing. You're not going to have anything to buy. Money is just means nothing in that situation. And like people like may hate Elon, may not like some of the things he's doing, but I think it's a good thing that he's trying to get us to go to Mars. He's trying to get us to explore, and he's trying to get us to, like, well, why isn't there more people trying to do this? Like, why isn't there a company trying to go to space? Why are the companies not trying to go to the moon to get that helium-2 or helium-3 or whatever they call it off the moon, the dust off the moon, and mine it and make money off of it, like they do on Avatar on the movie, where the corporations are going through the universe to get the materials. The only way we're going to leave Earth is if we run out of materials and we have no choice to go to other planets for materials. It seems like to me that's the way it seems to be. It's like nothing's going to change until you run out of that material, and then you have no other choice. You have to change. So, and then, like, there's a lot of things, like a new technology out there that's probably going to come to fruition soon, that we may have to not worry about fossil fuels anymore. There is technologies out there that companies are trying to push right now. But, like, I don't understand it. Well, if there's going to be energy, clean energy, they can still charge for it. It's not like an average person's going to be able to afford to buy a $100,000 fusion machine to run power for their home. Like, these people are low income people are not going to be able to afford it. So they're still going to be able to charge people for electricity. So what's the big deal if we go with clean energy? We're still going to have a meter on our house. We're still going to meter what we use for electricity and everything. So why is it really going to make a difference, to be totally honest with you, in my opinion? Like, it just does not make sense. So, there's that as well. And, now they're saying they want to try to put data centers in orbit. Now there's been Elon's been talking about it. I think there was a buddy that Zuckerberg. I think he wants to go and try to put a data center in space. I think the reason why they're trying to put a data center in space so that all this information that's being kept from us are being stored in space, and then it would be public knowledge. Then the governments wouldn't be controlling that knowledge that we've gained. Anyone can access all that technology and all that information and information that we can learn. The rules are different in space. There's no laws in space right now. There's no laws set in place. So basically, if you uploaded data to a data center that was floating in orbit in Earth, then that content would be safe because it would be. And I think we have to do something along that line. We got to do something like the Library of Alexandria, where they had all that knowledge in scrolls, in books, on stone and everything. We got to start creating some sort of place where we can store this data, store it on long-term format stuff like crystals, quark crystals, stored on that for future, if our civilization doesn't last, how are they going to be able to know how to use a server? How going to access a server? There's going to be no one around to maintain the server. There's going to be no one to repair technology that fails. So, like, we got to start finding other ways to store data so that if something does happen, we have the way of rebuilding civilization, that we don't lose all that knowledge. And there was like a book that's out that's called Rebuilding Civilization. It's actually a book that tells you how to make stuff, how to build stuff, what the steps you got to go through to get there, to get to make that stuff. So it's like it's just like stuff like that. Like, we all should have access to the information. It shouldn't be privileged people that have access to that knowledge and that information. Now, why would it be so much of a problem if there's been civilizations before us? They're not here, not around. How's that going to change anything? It's still going to be the same thing. Nothing's really going to change. It's the way it is. The way it is. It's like they're not here anymore. It's just the history that we've made. And like they say, history's only made by the people that win, not by the people that lose. So, you're probably are going to have some fabrication of information and fabrication of stories because of that, for that specific reason. I'm really going in depth here tonight on this tonight. Alright, and, well, that's the other thing I've been looking into. And I don't know, it seems like a lot of things are going in a direction that seems kind of good in one way, then it seems to be bad in one way. Now, if you ever watched a movie, it's a movie that's called Enemy of the Estate. So anyway, it's a movie that has that talks about the government spying, the government getting information, government collecting data. It's kind of like a story, like the way Snowden discovered that information and showed that the Apple and all those companies were spying on us, the government was spying on us. And it's basically kind of the exact same story of the movie, the way it was going on. It's because it's basically they affected his life. He didn't do something in the story, apparently. I don't want to ruin it for you, but anyway. But it's a real good movie to watch. I would definitely watch it. It would definitely be a mind opener because it is relevant to what's going on these days. It's more relevant now than it's ever been back then. So I would definitely suggest watching that movie, and these things are getting scary right now because things are going to happen. They're going to try to force digital currency on us, digital cards, digital identities. Once they support that digital identity, It's going to be worse than a goddamn social security card, social security number, because then they're going to be able to link your banking to it, and link your finances, link your purchases. It's just going to be the point where they're going to monitor what we're doing and how we make money. Now, I just think this is just a way of controlling us so that the richer get richer and we get more poor. It just seems like the more privileges are taken away and where freedoms are not there the way they used to be like 15 years ago. And laws are not reflecting these changes. These laws are just making it excuses to put more laws in place for people that are breaking the law, and it's just not benefiting the people that are the ones that are not breaking the law. So, and it seems like things are just not being adjusted because of that, and they're just trying to control people with the other thing from the thing. Well, maybe just find out why people are like that. Maybe do studies. Maybe do research. Maybe find out what part of the brain that causes it. Maybe it's something that causes people to act that way or to do things. There may be treatments that they can solve to help the problem. Like, don't try to try to lay the blame on everyone, and then because there was some bad apples, then everyone else has to be punished for someone else's bad things they have done. So, and then they're saying they're trying to push that. There's been rumors that's been going on, and that they're going to do that, and apparently they're going to control how much money you can take out of your bank account. If you have millions, well, I don't have millions, but it would be nice if I did. But you'll have a limit on how much you can take out. If you take out any more than that, then it would not be legal, it would be illegal, and then you could end up going to jail because you took more money out of your account than what you should have. That is not freedom, that is control. And then it's just like a lot of things. Like, I just find TV hasn't been the same lately. Again, like the cable companies were losing stuff because of the streaming services. Now the cable companies are going after all the streaming services. Now the streaming services are not feeling like streaming services anymore. They're feeling more like a cable service, not a streaming service. And then they're giving you episodes weekly on streaming services now instead of giving you the whole full season. That's the reason why people like streaming services. You get to watch a whole season in one sitting and get to watch it and then give them time to do other things. Now, and that's not really an option anymore. And then now they got these things with commercials now. You pay Amazon to not get commercials, but yet they can put commercials on there if they're Amazon related or Amazon promoted or Amazon approved, then they can put that on your Amazon and you can watch. You'll get commercials. Discovered that lately because I was like, well, I'm still getting commercials when I'm paying for to get ad-free services. But then that's changed recently. I don't know if that's due to the government, due to the Canadian changes that they made or the laws they've changed during when COVID was going on. I'm not sure. But then that now, I even find like technology seems to be getting out of hand. Like, things are getting way too expensive. Food's getting too expensive. This is just beyond. It's like, all these companies just go, during COVID, they were willing to pay all this extra money for all this extra stuff. Now we don't have COVID anymore. So, we're just going to leave the prices the way they are. We'll just jack up the prices more. We're not going to complain about it. Nothing's going to happen. We can jack the price up as much as we want. That just basically seems what's going on. It's just getting to the point. It's getting crazy. Like, I get a grocery order. Like, I remember when I first getting with Instacart, I used to spend like $100 every 2 weeks. Now I'm spending $100 every week now. It's like you're just not getting anything for your buck. Then they basically were getting the same food. Then they put the food up and said, oh, we got to charge more because it's costing more. Then all of a sudden, I have no problem paying more for something, and then they end up going shrinking everything. And you used to buy wagon wheels when I was a kid. That would be like about this big. Now you buy a wagon wheel in a package. It's like a cookie, and it's only about this small now. And they charge you like double for the cookie. And this has been going on a lot lately. I noticed the Lay's chips got longer, less chips in the bag. The bag looks like it's a lot more slimmer, and you're getting less chips in the bag. They look like they made the bag longer, so they blow it up that it looks longer. It looks like you get more chips in the bag, but you're not getting the same amount of bag of chips. You're just adding more air to the bag. And just all these little stupid things like, if you're charging me more, well, why would the size of the quantity change? You're charging me more because you're giving me this quantity, but it costs more. But then you change the price, but then you don't give me the same quantity. You charge me more and give me a smaller quantity. Something seems wrong with this picture. It doesn't seem to add up, in my opinion. It's just everything just doesn't seem to be adding up. Like nothing. Like, why is everyone going on? Like, it doesn't people realize, like, they're saying things like Trump, for example. They're saying things so that we fight amongst each other. We got to get together and stop fighting amongst each other. Like, you don't believe what they say. All they're doing is trying to apply to get what they want. And how do they think these provinces think they're, like, breaking off Canada is going to solve anything? Then you're going to be an independent country, and he's just going to fucking pull the same shit off. He's just going to pull the same shit off that he's doing with everyone else, with all the countries. Like, how do you think you're going to get any further ahead of the game? You're not. Then you're going to have to pay for your own stuff. Then you're going to have to pay for your own services. Then you're going to have to pay for your own military. Like, what do you think? You want to break off and we're just going to give you everything and still keep the benefits of what you already have? It doesn't work that way. Like, just work out our problems and stick together and just weather it until we weather it through. We only have to deal with this for another 3 or 4 years. And as long as we can weather it and keep things in objective and then not get all upset and just basically, we just need to work together. We've got to stop this separation stuff. Like, they realize if they break us up and we're not as all together, and they break us up into individuals, that we're going to lose our power and we're going to lose some of our freedoms because they broke us up and we didn't even realize what was going on. Like, we're 5 years from now, you're all going to be saying, I can't mark my words. Oh, why didn't we not realize this before? Oh, we didn't notice it when this was happening. Although we didn't see this coming, this didn't happen. Mark my words, this is going to happen. They're going to be like, oh, this shouldn't happen. When did this happen? And we're just going to be in a shock because all they're doing is creating all these extra stories just to pull everyone's attention away. Like, oh, say there's drones, say there's Atlas, 3-Eye Atlas, the disclosure, this way, pull you this direction, this direction, this direction. Be pulled in 30, 40 directions and you don't know what's going on. And then you miss what was going on and they made changes that you didn't even know what happened. And then when you realize this happened, it's too late. So, like, we just gotta band together and stay together and not fight amongst each other. It just, this greed gotta stop. Like, needs to stop. But anyway, I went out kind of off on a rant on that one as well. But anyway, that is all I can think of at the moment, which is my thoughts for the end of the year. Some mixed things, some things I've learned, some things may help you, some things you may learn, some other things I'll learn as well, and you learn to avoid things. And I just like giving people knowledge, and you don't have to worry about making the same mistake. Why is people so scared to give people knowledge and not grow as a person? Like, people take it like, you're like a know-it-all, but you're not trying to be a know-it-all. You're trying to help someone not have to make the same mistakes again. Like, why why do people want to make the same mistakes? And like, I'm a believer, why work harder? Just work smarter. Like, you just got to do things differently. And my thoughts, my closing thoughts is that we all just need to grow, and we just need to grow beyond what we're doing now and actually become a better civilization, and us all become a better person, and that we all grow as a person so that the world changes for the best for everyone. We got to stop this greed. We got to stop thinking about ourselves, and we got to start spreading this knowledge and sharing between everyone else. Just like the movie Forward, you do one good thing for someone, then they do a good thing, and they do a good thing, and they do a good thing, and then keep doing that, and the world will be a better place by doing that. But it seems like no one gives a care anymore. It seems like everyone's more concerned about getting popular, getting famous, or trying to be someone they're not, just so that they get what they want. Like, they're just my thoughts. Like, we just gotta grow as a person, individual, so that each person that grows individually will benefit all of mankind, in my opinion. But anyway, that is all my thoughts this evening. Gadget is signing out. I'm basically same gadget time, same gadget channel, same gadget time every Tuesday at midnight. That my new content is available Tuesday morning, and basically will be new content. Hit like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Hit the notification at the bottom so you get a bell that every time when new content is out, you'll be notified of my new content, and it doesn't cost you anything to view my content. And you just look at my videos at the end. I'll have videos here, and there on some of my other videos, that other content that I have created. I do like comments and suggestions of future videos to do in the future. And thank you for your time. Thank you for the support. And Gadget is signing in.
It's TechWiz3699Shawn's in the zone. 3D printers, humming gadgets, finding a home. From Z-Wobble fixes to smart home tricks, we're building the future click by click. TechWiz3699, let's level up the game. Shawn Burger's got the spark to ignite the flame. DIY reviews and tutorials so clear. Subscribe, join the crew, the tech world's right here. Cybersecurity tips, gaming gear we explore. Hands-on solutions, we're opening the door. Beginner and maker, we're all in this fight. Ask questions, share projects, let's shine that light. TechWiz3699, let's learn the game. Shawn Burger's got the start, you can make it flame. DIY reviews and tutorials doing so click. Shawn's clack, talk the crew, the tech world right here.